Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Today's meeting is open forum and Sinhala, Tamila, English ඕනකකින් කතා කරන්න පුළුවන්. If you see the picture that I have in this forum, picture that we prepared long time ago, saying that we should work as one country, one nation, and one law for us to get out of trouble. So it was added into, somebody added me into a WhatsApp group, and I'll show you that one. See, called One Country, One Voice. And I had no idea who has added me into it. But conversations was very, very different. And this person I found as Jihan Hameed. I rang her up, see who are you? I don't know you, but you seem to know quite a lot about various things. And then I thought, can you speak up and tell us what's going on in Sri Lanka? So she agreed. So I'm glad that she's here today. And so I will invite her to answer some questions. Firstly, welcome, Jihan. You're there.
Jula, I'm here.
Oh, well. So my first questions to you
Mhm.
is who are you? Who are you? We don't know you. And give a little bit about what is your background and what drives your patriotism. Something is pushing you forward
Mhm.
so that this country has to be put right. So I'm asking, what made you do that?
Um, well, I come from a business background. Most of my life, adult life, I have been running companies and building things from ground up. Uh, but underneath that, I have always been quite interested in something very different. That is how governments work and how they operate, and what drive governments, and how states function. Firstly, I did my uh, education in the United Arab Emirates, my basic education there, and I did my university level studies also there. And when I was in university, my even my friends thought I was someone who was little had some different interest. Basically, most of my friends were interested in different areas of subject interest, but I was basically more interested in politics and geopolitics. And living in the Middle East, I think there is no opportunity for you to get involved in politics or any sort of such thing. So that is a closed setup. People don't engage in politics. Well, however, during my school days, I was interested. So that is me. And then after finishing my education there, I came back to Sri Lanka and got married. And with him only, I built our business together. And while building businesses, whatever I had as my passion as a young person, I liked how political systems, law, diplomacy, and behavior of states. Uh, what I think, and and after my until my husband's untimely demise, I was engaged in business, but at the same time, no, before my husband's demise, while I was doing business, I was also interested in Sri Lankan state and how the state was operating. And while we live in foreign countries, obviously you tend to miss your country, and you tend to pay more interest on your own country even though you are far away. So we always liked Sri Lankan. So that's why I think I am very patriotic. My father is also from the Navy, and I think as a child I've seen him whenever national anthem is being played, he'll stand straight. And my mother also educated in Sri Lanka and in Sinhalese medium. They have associated more freely with people, free-minded people, and they've always liked the history, literature, culture, and everything about Sri Lanka. I think this patriotism kind of came from my childhood and the background I was brought up in. And that is my background. And patriotism is something I think every Sri Lankan is patriotic, but we love our country. But patriotism, I think it is just not enough. You have to be a little bit more than patriotic. Patriotic is, I love my country, and I sit down and say, I love my country is no longer workable. That is why I have come up with, I identify myself as the nationalist, because nationalists, I think they take one step further than patriotic people. So that means we actually engage with the state. We check what the state is doing, how state is operating, and how state is managing its people, resources, and international affairs. So these things, when it comes to a level that you are actually engaging, and then sometimes you get the opportunity to engage with people at that level and policy influencers, and in that way I think my patriotism that's how my patriotism has come.
Okay.
And I'm a person who very deeply loves Sri Lanka. And also, patriotism is not something you can buy or you can sell. When you are patriotic, you are grounded, you stay with your country. And it doesn't bring you back perks or any kind of recognition, but it gives you a purpose. Sri Lanka is a very small country, and it is in a very strategic location, and we are under constant pressure from global powers. And I think now it is my duty, not with emotion, but with analysis, with my legal skills that I have acquired by reading and research, and with my sovereign intent. So that's who I am. I am a businesswoman by background and a strategist by instinct, and I am a nationalist by necessity of the country.
All right, thank you for that introduction. And I'm also saddened to hear your husband passed away in the bomb attack, correct?
Yeah.
In Easter bomb attack. Right. So the next question I want to ask from you,
Yeah.
what makes you so knowledgeable about both local and international geopolitics?
Well, I didn't study geopolitics as a subject, but I think geopolitics, I had an interest because I was in UAE during my school days. The Gulf War was going on, and those days people, because we were close proximity to that war, people were glued to the TV, and people regularly see and check what's going on. And by watching, questioning, and tracing patterns, how the Gulf War was operating between United States, the Allied forces, and how the Middle East was responding. And I think most people just looked at it, at what's been said in the television, in the media. And think I I think at a very early stage of my life, during that time, I started tracing the patterns most people during that time overlooked.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Okay.
Gulf War observation, I think that was my first geopolitical contact that I deeply got involved into the setup. Yes, Chula?
Yeah. So if you learned in UAE, how come you learned, you can speak more than three languages, maybe?
Yeah. And I think my parents at home, my grandparents spoke in Tamil,
Yeah.
Another grandparent spoke in Malay, that's my father's side, and my parents at home spoke in Sinhala.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so I think anyway, language is very interesting. I still learn, and I got very interested because I lived in UAE. I also speak a bit
Okay.
Arabic also.
So you can be asked questions on Arabic or
Yes.
Sinhala or anything. It's okay. Okay,
Yes.
fine. All right. So let's go to the next one. Okay, next question.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts on our democracy? Do you believe it can be improved in practical and sustainable way? You know so much. So,
Yes, I think Sri Lankan democracy is very vibrant. Uh, but unfortunately, what we really have now is something very fragile, because the structure of our democracy is for the people, to the people, by the people. So it's all about people. Governance is all about people because our sovereign right is transferred to the parliament. Our sovereign right is transferred through direct election in a presidential election. And then our sovereign right is we are not transferring it to the judiciary, but then executive and the legislative is giving little bit of their powers to the judiciary. But then democracy should be very defined and in clear terms. It should always work in the benefit of the people. Because when the politicians give their election manifestos, people see, people read. Actually, that is how it should be. People should read the manifestos properly, what they are offering to us. But in Sri Lanka, unfortunately, people don't clearly read manifestos in detail. So the manifesto of each party only tells where that party is going to take us in foreign policy, economic policy, when it comes to history, our culture, and economics, everything the manifesto only tells. But in Sri Lankan's democracy, one thing I see, unfortunately, Sri Lankan people not reading the manifesto is a major problem. They depend on news, they depend on Facebook, they depend on so many ways of getting information. Sometimes the most of the information given to the public is not very clear. The narrative is not clear. So that is a problem with our democracy. And again, our constitution, democracy is protected by our constitution, but our constitution is unfortunately very seriously violated, and it has gone through serious legal engineering over the past few decades. For example, the 19th Amendment and the 21st Amendment, it has completely, I think, to a greater extent, it has weakened the executive. Executive is the I think what happened was, if this executive power, if this much executive power, if during Mahinda Rajapaksa's time, if he did not have that power, he would not have definitely been able to defeat the war, because he used all his powers internationally, parliament, and all he managed. So after Mahinda Rajapaksa's leaving office after 2015, I think very slowly so many bills have been brought, and the executive, judiciary, except judiciary, even judiciary is weakened now. Judiciary is also having problem. Legislative parliament is seriously weak. 19th Amendment, 21st Amendment was, I don't know, many people say it only, many people see it as a way of curbing corruption and too much power. But that is just an excuse. Then power should be properly balanced, not by dismantling the executive stability. The president should be very stable to run the country. And he now he is stuck with institutions. So even if people elect a very strong president, like our current president, uh, uh, actually, personally, I have had been engaged in political activities since 2015. And I have had a political party because if I want to be interested in state affairs, people said I should have a political party. And Mahinda Rajapaksa at that time seemed to look, he was waging war against the terrorism. I thought I would support him, and I stayed with that party for a very long time in the intention of pushing for policy, required policy, needed policy for Sri Lanka, because I understood what we need to do at certain areas. But unfortunately, even staying with that party, I could not push required policy, because pushing policy is very difficult when it is for the need of the national interest. So most of the policies that is being pushed in Sri Lanka is not truly for the nation's interest. That is where nationalists are very upset, because they see some of the agreements that they come, national interest is not properly covered. At sometime the agreement, sometime the bills doesn't pass through the correct channels. So in that case only we have Supreme Courts, or we have the judiciary. So executive has his powers, and legislative, they pass the laws, and the people also have equally lot of powers. When the government is not doing what they are supposed to do, people go to the Supreme Courts, and that is also a way of exercising our democracy. And to be honest, what we have now is a broken democracy. We need a constitutional reform that restores clarity, because too much of amendments have distorted our constitution, and it has a lot of confusion. So we need a head of state who can decisively, with a mandate that he can defend. We don't want a ceremonial president who is trapped in committees. We need a president who can make decisions. So for that, we must build civic literacy. Most Sri Lankans don't even know what powers they are activating when they are what powers they are activating. And
Okay, yeah. So
yeah,
that's a very big question that I asked, but lots of people may have different views, but that's a different story. But during, say, last decades, before this government, there were some interferences with the judiciary, isn't it? They could not function independently. There was so much corruption, so many unresolved various issues. So that's the practical side of it. Okay, let's.
corruption is there. That if we are going to say presidents are corrupt, so we are saying certain presidents are corrupt, certain presidents have not conducted themselves well. So that is the highest authority we people are telling on corruption, our president, when we say. And then we are also not scared to say that the parliament is corrupt. But then we have the smallest form of power center, that is the judiciary. And are we to assume that arm of the governance is uncorrupt? That is a question we should ask.
Okay, so very wide question there. So there'll be more questions in the background at the end of this because it's an open forum. Let's go through. And then why do so many politicians behave as if they own the state once elected?
Okay. Okay, because in Sri Lanka, politics and power is it's almost like a culture. I mean, our politician thinks no end of themselves, because I think most of the time our politicians now in Sri Lanka is not actually going from the academic class. The people who are contesting in elections, our academic and professionals are kind of reluctant to enter politics because they believe it is corrupt, it is tiring. You have to go into the constituencies, you have to talk to the people, and then it is a level you have to go down to the line to enter into politics. So most of the time, at the moment, that should change in the future. At the moment, the political classes, I would say it's like at the middle level. It's not very higher threshold, it's not a lower threshold, it's at a middle level. So most of these politicians do not have proper educational background on politics, geopolitics, statecraft, law, and they lack this basic understanding. When they enter politics, they think going and අර කානුවක් හදලා දීලා ගහක් කපලා දීලා ටකරන් හදලා මේ ඉස්කෝලේ මොනා හරි හදපු ගමන්ම you can enter parliament, that you can enter politics. That's how it's like, I don't know whether it is democracy or demagogy. That is the level of politicians entering. So once these politicians go for this political campaign, all the people run behind them, they sir, and then they get this image of being very powerful when they are surrounded by so many people, and they give them so much credit because these poor people also know if we want to get things done, we have to go behind our politician to get something done. They do help. There are some good politicians also. So obviously that image, that bubble is created, and slowly, and they become like untouchable. So much power. They have security, they have cars, they have access, they can go anywhere, they can talk to anyone. So they believe, they act like they are untouchable, and they have so much power. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. So that's another answer for that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go for the next one. And again, you can answer in any language, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
So why does our president often appear unwilling or unable to act as the president of all citizens beyond party lines, race, or religion?
I think, are we talking about our current president?
Yeah, you can talk about the current one or the past ones. We are talking about the president, not an individual.
Okay. I think, Chula, let me ask you a question. What made you ask that question? Why do you think our president is not Lisa?
No, I'm not saying like that. Say the presidential election is
Yeah.
a democratic process.
Yes.
So once someone is elected, he
Yeah.
is everyone's president.
Yes. That's
I
how it
mean,
should be.
that's how it should be.
Yes.
So, for example, but they think that still they belong to a party and they want to serve the party more
Yeah.
than the people.
Yes.
And if you look at the past, once I remember in the US, the presidential election, the difference between the two were like 500 votes or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And then they followed on the winner followed on, and they cared for everyone, not just half of the population. You see what I mean?
Okay, so what happens is when a president is elected, the president is obviously up to he becoming a president. Once he becomes the president, only he becomes the president of the whole public. Until he reached that point, he was coming through political pressure, and he was trained. He was programmed to make his party win, and all the people he associate, he talks, he plans, is all with his own setup people, that is politically linked, politically closed, ideologically close. So obviously they become the president when they reach there with the mentality of his party line. And you also should know, a president, when he gets elected and go to the office, he will be so tired of running that 2-month campaign, high intensity campaign he runs. So obviously he takes little bit of time to adjust, to understand that now he is the president of the whole country. So people from his party. Once he become the president, people from his party will expect him to stick into the ideology that party brought him up. So now what happens is when he becomes president, he is also president to the people of different ideologies, different people who have voted for different candidates. But when the president is elected, Sri Lanka should respect, regardless of what party you worked, whoever you worked with, he is the president of the country and he should be respected and supported. He should not be undermined. He should not be pulled from his leg. He should be allowed to work because he is now the head of the state who runs our state and he operates our state, and he should be in very good mentality to do it also.
So you think it's partly our fault as well,
Yes,
because
it's people.
we as people, from the day one of the election
Yes,
winning,
yes,
start start bringing down or try to bringing down the person who is just elected. That's
yes, yes.
okay.
No,
Right.
no, it's not the people. The majority of the people who vote are not politically active. There are segments of the people, politically active parties, opposition and small other parties, only they remain active throughout, even after the election circle, is that segment of society. Other
Okay.
people go back to their life and work.
Right.
So, and apart from that, apart from nationalist, I should, apart from the politician, I should give you a clear distinction. Nationalists are different. We are also interested in politicians, not only president. We are interested in the opposition. We are interested in the military. We are interested in the geopolitical pressure. We are interested in all the aspects of politics, internal and external.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Okay. That's fine. So I'm sure there'll be questions from the audience. Let's go to the next question as well.
yeah.
So, how can we ensure that those who seek public office or are elected
Yeah.
are not individuals with criminal backgrounds or questionable records? How do we sort that out?
Okay, this is one of the most urgent structural reforms that our country need, that people with criminal background also entering politics. And then almost everyone can contest an election today. So it doesn't matter if they have been accused of corruption or abuse of power or serious crimes, because our system doesn't properly screen candidates before they enter the political space. So it should not be only entering to the nomination list. I think it should be filtered from the party level. The political parties also, when they take their membership, they should also have discipline. They should also take responsibility. So first step is to make a candidate vetting. We should make a candidate vetting a constitutional requirement. So very important. If someone with a criminal record or fraudulent record or someone who have done something bad to the country, and those people with bad record should not enter the office, public office. And they should also declare their legal and financial history also, with independent verification, not just affidavit. Right now, they are giving an affidavit, and after the election, it is thrown somewhere. No one even checks after that. So, second, we need an automatic disqualification clause. We should bring some laws. I think we should bring some
Yeah.
reforms.
So you need a legal framework to
Yes,
sort this
legal.
out.
That is something very important that need to be done if we need to clean up a political class, and to expect high quality politicians to emerge. This filtering needs to be done. That needs to
Okay.
be done.
Okay. Thank you.
And yeah.
Okay.
And
Let's.
third, we also should hold political parties accountable. People should hold the political parties accountable. If party keeps nominating tainted people, individual with bad consequences, I think there should be some kind of a legal framework or law that where people can also go to the courts and say this party is nominating bad people and we are given with rotten choices, so we have no choice but to vote. So parties' responsibility is also to bring quality, high value, educated individual. They should present it to the people so people have choices to vote. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that is correct. So if you have a legal framework, then people should be able to challenge them in the courts as well. So whether
Yeah.
they're elected or not, then they should be disqualified, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so is our judiciary functioning at the expected standard? If not, what are the causes of underperformance and what measures could help improve it? Is there a role for public engagement in this?
Yeah. Actually, I am a person who is working, have lot of faith in the judiciary, because that is where we have to, when citizens are in distress, when governments are not going online and taking routes that is detrimental. Sometimes the government is not taking that route. So many people are taking the route, and sometimes the government says, I don't know, we have not been informed, this paper didn't come, that paper didn't come, but the law will pass. So that is where judiciary is very important. Judiciary is more important to the people. That is where we run to the judiciary with fundamental rights petition whenever our rights have been breached, and irrevocably sometimes. So one of the root causes is lack of transparency and accountability with the Judicial Service Commission. The Judicial Service Commission has enormous power over judicial appointments now, and the transfers and suspensions, but very little public scrutiny. So Judicial Service Commission is an unelected body. They come through, they gain their power through the constitutional councils, and they are unaccountable. I mean, the unaccountable to the people.
So,
We can't.
so what you're saying is that we need a quality assurance process for judiciary, particularly
Absolutely.
the practitioners. That is true.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, when judges make independent decisions, sometimes they get threatened. And then, as far as we know, maybe at least one of them was killed
Yeah.
in the past.
Yeah. So this is what happens. So that has in the judges, when they give judgments with courage, we need to protect them. So sometimes judiciary also, I don't know, they also have their ways of doing. They are very careful. They don't want to clash with the state. When state has made a decision, when the executive has made decision, when the legislative has made a decision, when public goes to the courts, sometimes the judiciary tries to play a little careful. I think judiciary should be very bold in their clarity. Executive comes for 5 years, legislative comes for 5 years, judiciary stays, and people's sovereignty and people's right matters most. And I think always the judiciary should side with the people. And when they go in distress, they should side with the people. And the judges, now look at Tilina Gamage, the magistrate, and he is one of the boldest judges I have known, but unfortunately he have got caught in some kind of elephant scam. But that case is, I think it was closed, and so many years later the same case has come back. So Judiciary Service Commission, I don't know why so many cases are there, when this particular judge gave landmark judgments he investigated and he opened the Wasim Tajuddin case, very politically sensitive case. Because people believed that that boy was murdered. So people actually believed, I don't know whether murdered or not, but he was bold enough to open that case. And there was another case about some doctor who have had a fight, very powerful doctor, in a public case, and she was given bailout, and he called the dig and asked why this bail was given. You can't give this bail. So those are courageous decisions. And he was the judge who put that gave an arrest warrant to Pastor Jerome. So again, powerful decisions. And then he was one of the
Yeah. So in that case, I mean, the law is that, say, for example, I worked in the health sector over there. If I had done something wrong that is, say, for example, against my professional capacity, and if there's some complaint that stops me from working in that profession, so suspension is the standard. That's the legal situation. So you have suspended until the inquiry is over, and then when you're reinstated, you get the whole back pay. That is how
yeah.
it works.
But no. When some people are suspended, sometimes you can suspension can extend. If it is genuinely done, suspension can be reinstated. Most of the time, what happens in Sri Lanka is real bold, courageous, patriotic Sri Lankans who try to push Sri Lanka forward through agreements, through when they see something going wrong, when people are not interested in bribes or whatever, when people are very true and courageous to work for Sri Lanka, those people slowly get sidelined because they become a problem. So
Okay,
in
so
this
but I
case, we
think
have
the
to make sure that good people doesn't get discouraged and go out of the system, or they become silent. That both shouldn't happen.
okay, let's go to the next question. Let's come to corruption. Yeah.
Yeah,
So corruption, especially at high levels,
yeah,
has been a major cause of national decline.
yeah.
We know that. I mean, what steps should be taken to minimize it? What is your assessment of the current government's anti-corruption strategy?
I think in the history of Sri Lanka, I think the current government is less corrupt. I think current government after so many years, less corrupt means I haven't seen anything. I think they are almost zero corrupt. So I think they are trying their best. This government is trying their best, and I think people should give them their fullest support. Opposition also should give their fullest support, because corruption has to be eradicated. Little bit of corruption at very small level, I don't know if you can completely eradicate corruption, but the corporate level corruption is very serious in Sri Lanka. Because how corruption happens is, Sri Lanka was uh, initially it was not this much corrupt, but corruption, I think the biggest corruption comes externally from the corporates. They come when they want to get a deal, when they want a contract, when they want a tender, when they want to invest. They actually, too many people will be interested in the same product. So when too many people are bidding and interested, so someone goes and gives a smaller bid and give a bigger bribe to the person who is involved in passing this project or whatever. Mostly project corruption only in Sri Lanka.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
these people, the corporates and the foreigners, when they want project, they corrupt our politician. They give bribe to our politicians. Our politicians take all this money and they go and spend in the election. So to do election also, they want money. So they collect money to go and spend on the people, because people will not vote if you don't give them things. So it's a vicious circle. So corruption needs to be addressed properly. Now, I think now after this government coming, I think people are little scared. We don't hear cases as much as how much we used to hear. uh, we need to make public procurement and the state contracts very transparent and real time. If you can keep it on digitally available for people to see stage by stage, fine. Nothing should be done secretively. Even sometimes the ministry officials don't see how the things are being passed. So
Correct.
every
Okay.
citizen should see who is bidding, who is winning, who is getting it. People should be able to see. And we also need, I think I have made extensively my remarks on SIABOC. SIABOC was created with the Anti-Corruption Act in 2023. So Cyberbucks seem to be slightly politically targeted. That feeling is there. that feeling is there among the people. So we are still observing how they are moving. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hope it will go that way to get it eradicated totally.
Yeah.
Then, so they do. Why do politicians often ignore past experiences, research, and expert advice? Say, for example, they have many government advisors and they remain silent when flawed decisions are made. How can we ensure governance is grounded in evidence and public interest? Is there any way to do that?
Yes, because because the political system in Sri Lanka is not built on evidence-based governance. It is built on survival, optics, and short-term gain. And political appointments have been given to political officers, and most of the politicians are not interested in long-term outcomes. They are interested in how a decision will play out in the next election. They always check. To even today, the current government is also worried. Every government, if I do this, will I win the next election? Will the people be upset? Will the people like it? So that is what they say. They are interested in the in election driven mostly. Most advices, most things happen. Even when an expert advice is available, even when expert advice is available, it is filtered through political interest, sometimes geopolitical interest also. If the advice aligns with their agenda, then it is used. If it doesn't, it's dismissed.
Yeah.
This creates an environment where good ideas die quietly, because when you give good ideas, it is not accepted if it doesn't match the agenda. And flawed decisions are pushed. Sometimes it is pushed because it is because sometimes it is someone else's political or financial or geopolitical interest. As for advisors, most of them are chosen for loyalty. Today in Sri Lanka, throughout, political advisors are not chosen through merit. They are chosen through loyalty. Sometimes they are not competent also. The role is, most of the time, it is ceremonial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jan, you may not realize we are nearly been talking for 1 hour.
Oh, yes.
I want to finish the next questions in 5 minutes and
Yes.
then give a chance for the audience. Okay.
Okay.
So, national unity is critical for development.
Yes.
Yet, many politicians continue to promote division along racial, religious, or regional lines. What
Yeah.
can be done to change this?
Well, in the truth, division is now become a political tool. It's a very cheap tool, but in Sri Lanka, it is very effective and emotionally powerful. Politicians use the race, religion, and not just because they believe in the divisions, they believe that it is one way of easily winning the elections. Uh, and they don't, they tell the people, okay, if they say, I am a Buddhist, I am a Catholic, I am a Muslim, I am a Tamil, vote for me, that is fine. If they stop at there, fine, because minorities also have rights, majorities also have right. If they want to, it is their right. But the problem is they go and give a threat perception. You have to vote for me because they are against us. They are going to destroy us. They are the problem. The other side is the problem. That's why you vote for me kind of perception is only creating the division that they created during the election time, and then they go to the office and the people continue to fight because that is been embedded into the system. It is a narrative. First of all, we should legally disqualify hate speech and communal incitement. Any political campaign, if they are using communal incitement, I think, or any rhetoric, they should be banned. Whether let it be Muslim, Sinhala, Tamil, Buddhist, anyone, if they are using communal hatred to pick up votes, they should be, I think, disqualified. And we must also frame national identity and education and in media. We should say we are all Sri Lankan. Politicians come to serve us and they are going to work for us. Yes, they need to win the elections, but not at the expense of dividing us.
Okay,
And then again,
that's a
yeah,
good one, Jihan. Yeah,
yeah, and
because I think
then again, just because this religion, the politicians are creating division among the people, and that has become a problem. Instead of uh, mm, uh, instead of rehabilitating the politicians, we don't remove the religion. We can't remove the religion. We want the politicians to be rehabilitated instead of saying religion is the problem. Religion is not the problem, but misuse of the religion is the problem.
correct. So, being a nationalist, do you think you can get this thing into this filtering mechanism into work for
Yes.
to get this into the legal
Yes,
framework?
yes.
So
That
that's
that
something very
we need
important
to,
to do.
yeah, we need people not to be just observers. This country is ours. When we see a problem, and being neutral, being observant is very safe. Being outspoken and being speaking out, being loud is nowadays, people sometimes say good, sometimes say bad. So, as Sri Lankan citizens, if we want our country to develop, if we want our country to survive, if we want our country to do well, if we want this country belongs to us, these assets, resources, this beautiful nation belongs to the Sri Lankan people. And then, if we want this country to work well, we all should build it together.
Okay, let's go for the next
Without
one because
politics, it doesn't matter. When a government is operating for its 5 years, set aside everything and support that government.
correct. Okay, let's go for the next one.
Yeah.
So how do we kind of, as you said, I mean, what more can be done to promote interfaith and interracial harmony across the country?
I think unless our politicians create an issue, I don't think there are racial
That's it.
issues in Sri Lanka unless they
Correct.
create it. I don't think people are fighting on the road and killing this in Sri Lanka particularly Sri Lankan people are very peaceful. They don't go into any kind of unnecessary fights unless some politics is involved. So
Sure.
interfaith, I think the religious leaders should not get involved into
Into politics.
active
Correct.
politics. No, please, they should not. They should
Correct.
stay in their prospective places, and they should promote peace and harmony and love to the people and calm them down. That is the role of the religious clergy, all of them. All
Okay.
of them.
Very, very
Unless
good.
unless something very bad is happening, there is some war is coming, everybody is getting killed, then the religious clergy can come to fill the gap. When people are already doing it, religious clergy does not need to jump into people's public areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next one, what advice would you give to ordinary citizens, especially young people entering the voting age? Because it's the Z generation that's coming, which is quite
Yeah,
different.
they are very, very smart.
They're very smart.
Uh,
So
yeah,
to help safeguard our nation, ensuring it remains non-aligned,
yeah,
truly independent,
yes,
and free from influence of global political powers,
yes.
we need this generation to
Be
speak
very
up.
active.
Yeah.
But what happens is our Gen Z in Sri Lanka and now you see English is also a very important language in the world. Because most of the information you connect to the world through English. Fortunately, we have international students. I think their number is maybe more than 1 million English speaking young students are there. So the internationally studying students are not coming into the civic studies, not coming into the government side. They are going into the private sector and they are slowly going abroad. So local students are coming into these areas. But the Gen Z is the group currently is least interested in politics. We have to figure out a way for them to get involved in social activities, not just TikTok dancing, singing, and music. We also have to encourage them into the civic studies, history, patriotism. Slowly, we have to bring them in because international schools don't have this in their curriculum. And local students, I know Prime Minister is trying to bring all these things into our curriculum and build the proper Sri Lankan citizen. And I am looking forward to see
Yeah,
what the
at
outcome.
least there's an effort to change the
Yeah,
paradigm.
brilliant
That's
effort,
good.
and it's very difficult. She can be misled, she can be given wrong information, she can be told what is needed, can be told this is not needed, what is not needed can be told this is what is needed. So she needs to be very carefully moving, and we nationalists are watching and wishing her all the best that she succeed in this curriculum revival, at the same time grounded with civilization, culture, and our patriotism. And we need to build our citizens. They are going away from patriotism, so we need to bring them together. Then only, they will even work in Sri Lanka. They will come back to Sri Lanka if that feeling is there. That feeling needs to remain. They just can't be a global citizen and go anywhere. They have to have their roots grounded here, and they have their duty to their country also. So I just want to tell them, just don't watch, read, and just don't listen to anything. They need to be engaged in, they need to, I don't even know the Gen Z, if they listen to local news and local affairs, and I think they should. And slowly we should, through YouTube and social media and Instagram, they are mostly hanging around in those areas, and those areas now we see mostly used for entertainment and jokes. And I think those areas can be used very positively to influence our Gen Z generation, and young speakers, nationalists, and patriots, and the teachers, parents should slowly guide them through.
Okay,
And I think we will also do that advocacy, definitely.
that's very good, Jihan, and
Mhm.
thank you for your time.
Mhm.
I think I finished my 12 questions, and the 12 questions were actually not mine. They
Okay.
were actually the consensus kind of thing that we had developed in Leeds over the nearly 5 years of discussions.
Okay.
So you answered those, and I hope you will work because our missions are the same, and then people with similar missions should come together to work together.
Mhm.
So I'll stop here my slides, and then maybe you can take some questions from the audience, and then we can
Yeah.
conclude. Okay, any questions from the audience? Anybody raise hand here? Yes, Ranjan. Yes, Ranjan. Ranjan.
Ranjan, your mic is off. Switch on the mic, Ranjan.
Thank you for that, Jihan.
Hi.
Chula,
Yeah.
I think I should mention that I saw Kitsiri's name hand up first. So I don't
Okay,
mind
I
if
think Kitsiri is functioning. I think it is there, Kitsiri. You want to go because you normally raise the hand rather than see it on the screen.
Yes.
Okay, I agree, Ranjan. Okay, thanks.
Hi,
You are
Kit.
still muted, Kitsiri.
Yeah. Kitsiri, your
You are
your
muted.
mic, your mic. You have to switch on the mic.
I'll take him in. He's not here now, so he
All
probably.
right,
if he's
I
not
can
ready,
see. Right.
if he's not ready,
Yeah,
I am ready.
yeah,
Yes, Ranjan, go for it,
Ranjan.
Ranjan. That's okay. We'll
Okay.
take screen next. Yeah.
Uh, Thank you very much, Chula. Firstly, I congratulate Jihan for that analysis, uh, broad spectrum analysis of our politics of 76 years. I'll run through my comments very fast. First of all, you were referring to politics and you were referring to patriotism. I have been an observer of Sri Lanka's politics of 76 years, starting from 4th of February 1948 to date. I say again, starting from 4th of February 1948 to date. My observation is that we never had democracy. What did we have then? We had demagoguery. We had demagoguery and not democracy.
Absolutely agree.
For the benefit of some of us at least, The meaning of demagoguery, according to the dictionary, is
නෑ
a
නෑ ඒක විද්වතුන් කතා කරන්නේ සබ්ජෙක්ට්ස් ගැන.
That's okay. Carry on. I'll mute. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
a person who appeals to the emotions and prejudices of people, especially in order to gain political power. That is what we had through these 76 years, and that explains for our bankruptcy. Very briefly, that point. Then you referred to patriotism. When you look at, when you try to understand what patriotism means, by what we saw in practice in Sri Lanka over the 76 years, I am reminded of a age-old adage which says patriotism is the last refuge of a rascal. Patriotism is the last refuge of a rascal. When you look at the way our leaders, you see, looted this country and forgot even the generations to come when they looted this country. For example, I'll have to be very brief. For example, take the Express Pearl case. You know, it is going to give out poison our surrounding oceans forever. Forever. You know, there is the damage is irremediable. You read the Supreme Court case on this. You see, the poison that is the Express Pearl has taken to the bottom of the ocean. It's going to poison our shores, our fish, and so on forever. You know, India refused this ship entry. Qatar refused this ship entry.
Yeah.
Our patriots allowed it to come in. Minister Nalaka Godaheva's name is mentioned in that case. Minister Nalaka Godaheva's case. What is even worse, they have not yet filed the case. They are debating whether to file it in Sri Lanka or Singapore. And after now, 2 years is almost going to be over in another few days.
And last week there was a Supreme Court determination.
That's the one.
Yeah. And then
Now,
Attorney General, we could have filed the case. We should have filed the case in Sri Lanka, but Attorney General had a little shortcoming, and he allowed that to be filed in Singapore.
but it has not yet been filed yet.
Yeah, thank
Not
God.
yet.
We objected to it, and it should have been filed here, and I think some kind of a massive compensation is given. But I think Express Pearl, utter corruption. People even try. I know there are people, they have even taken money to let that case go. Even the insurance pays, no, insurance company have no point in paying if something like this happened, because there is enough insurance. They are going as far as not the insurance company also should not pay. I don't understand.
So
And
that shows
such a pollution to the sea.
when our politicians take over, they only think of themselves and not the people or even the generations to follow. That is the lesson I learned from the Express Pearl case. You know, it hurt me so much. I have to say this again. You know, the poison that is released through this ship is going to poison our shores forever.
And
Can
the coral life. And
You
those
see?
pebbles will remain. They will not decay for a very long time. And the fish eat them, and our sea resources badly damaged. These have long-term effects. I know, I understand your concern and
Imagine we are going to eat fish, we are going to eat seafood. You see, forever, all the time. As long as we live in this country, we are going to eat. There is a grave danger of cancer and other diseases like cancer. See, these things have been documented by scientists, not by me. Now I come to the other point, but I have to go fast. Manifesto. I remember with regard to these party manifestos, when Ratnasiri Vikramanayaka was the Prime Minister, he was candid enough to say openly, these manifestos are not to be taken seriously. He openly said that, and that they were just meant as a little bit of advertisement to win votes, that's all. And there is no serious intention on the part of any party to implement them. Next point, democracy practiced in Sri Lanka. We need we practice democracy in Sri Lanka through party politics. Party politics created divisions and all the racial and religious problems that we dealt with.
I see.
Party politics need reform. I dare say even in America, party politics has been very harmful to the body politic of America. See the way the Republicans and the Democrats are going at each other. One example I remember, when Barack Obama was the president, he passed the Affordable Care Act, which benefited millions of Americans. Millions. What did Donald Trump do when he won? He abrogated that act.
One comes in, put the policy, the other one comes in. So Chula, Ranjan, I think we should have a national policy framework that politicians should not be able to change it. What do you think?
That's a constitution by referendum. That's how you can do it. But then we have a long way to go for that.
Yeah. But yeah.
Now shall I continue?
Yes, please, Ranjan.
Corruption. On corruption, mind you, I'm telling you, Chola, once again, I'm running through this. You see, I'm not elaborating. Corruption. To eradicate corruption, we have to start from schools. That is the correct way to eradicate corruption. There is, and sadly, I have been following closely the recent proposals for educational reforms. Very little mention is made of starting on moral education and ethical education. This is how Japan rebuilt their country after the war and become a great country today. Great definition of greatness of Japan. How many of you know that if you are a Japanese, you can enter something like 440 odd countries or more, just saying without a visa. You have only to say, I'm a Japanese, and it's open sesame. That is the standard of their reputation, of their international reputation of Japan. But the Japanese persona was not the same before World War II. He was a totally different person. It's very interesting. Then I come to the next point, politics. And why is there such a great demand for people to rush into politics? Why do people want to get into politics? Is it to to serve the people? Politics is meant to serve the people. What nonsense! They don't for their personal.
Yeah.
For their Kumar Welgama, the late Kumar Welgama, when he was in Parliament, he said this: some people who does not have money to buy a cup of tea, become millionaires overnight after becoming MPs.
Yeah.
Become millionaires overnight, Jihan and Chula, after becoming MPs. So this is the real reason why all these fellows are rushing to go to parliament.
Yeah, and then political funding, all these kudukaryas and kasipukaryas and everybody come and fund them. They need funding. That is also another problem, political funding. They get a lot of money for the political campaigns.
The next point, President, the question was asked by Chula
Yes.
from you, Jihan, why the president cannot act on behalf of all the citizens. In fact, that was the position until 2024. Now this new government has taken some measures to rectify this position and become and represent all the people of the country. And the election results have shown that. Why was this is exclusive politics before 24? In fact, Gotabaya Rajapaksa openly said it. Exclusive politics for Sinhala Buddhists. He openly said it. You see? Why? Because of a systemic weakness in the party system of party politics. Because of a systemic weakness in party politics. You have to get a majority, then you form the government. So they rightfully calculated and strategized for the Sinhala Buddhists to concentrate and obtain a majority. That's how they won. You see? So this is a systemic weakness much in party politics, which has to be constitutionally rectified. It has to be constitutionally rectified. You know, much more than we are all talking about, we have 3 constitutions. Now we want to go for a 3rd constitution. If these critical weaknesses are not rectified, you see, what that 4th constitution also will go the way of the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st constitution.
Right.
Then I come to how to prevent criminals entering politics. Today, as you know, at least up to 2024, as you know, there was a MP coming to parliament from Balikada jail. You remember that? There was an MP who came to parliament from Balikada jail. This is a very sad reflection on the moral values of Sri Lankan people, especially the Sinhala Buddhists. I am a Sinhala Buddhist. You see, I feel ashamed that we should see this. Incidentally, I might mention this also. In India too, some criminals are MPs. Democracy law. My observation through these 76 years is democracy lowers standards.
Yeah.
Democracy always goes the lowest common denominator, you see. It lowers standards. I saw a much higher standard of public conduct as a young officer, which I don't see today. In our judicial independence was subverted up to 2024, and nobody had any confidence in that judicial system. Fortunately, I think I give credit to the judges on this. They held on stubbornly, and now there is a much higher level of judicial independence today than that. Judicial independence has been restored to a large extent. I'll put it that way. Sidelining of good people, Jihan, is a critical issue you raised. I thank you for this. You see, we are in Sri Lanka systematically and methodically, good people in Sri Lanka are sidelined. You see, this is a social problem which we all should get together. Leads can take the leadership on this and see whether we can find a strategy to put back into leadership people who are good and push to the background these evil people. You can see even now, those people who have done, who are accountable for so many killings, for bankrupting the economy. Do you realize that not one of them has apologized? They did not. Who said sorry? Did anyone say even the one word sorry? Did anyone say that? No one. No. Did Mahinda Rajapaksa say? Did Gotabaya Rajapaksa say? Did these are the people to whom the country entrusted to govern us? No. Did Ranil Wickrama say sorry? I have seen in other countries, the most powerful countries, American
Apologize
president,
and resign.
Yeah. And in a country like Japan, Jihan, you see, he committed suicide. He feels so ashamed.
And I
In Sri
think
Lanka,
we only have one resignation. I think that was that Neville Fernando, doctor. Dr. Neville Fernando dignifiedly, some issue happened and resigned.
yes,
There was another one. Two people I can remember. They resigned because they can't. In Sri Lanka, we don't have that culture.
so why do politicians often ignore experience? So once again, is this why do they don't select people on merit because they don't come to govern the country. They come to do business.
Yes.
So the simple answer is that we have to correct it.
Yes. And this government also, I am not saying I am not telling anything. I can also see little issues that this government, but I'm not telling it out because the opposition will catch it and make it a bigger issue. I don't want any instability. I'm slowly bringing down very carefully and informing the government through various channels to put them on correct path. So that is very important. With this government needs to stay on track and on path without any damage, because again, Sri Lanka can't go through any type of instability again. It can't afford to. But I also hear certain places, some things brewing.
National unity is absolutely critical. You're right.
Yes.
National unity is absolutely critical, and it's achievable.
Achievable.
It is achievable.
It won't fall into our hand, but we have to work for it.
It can be done.
Yeah.
If we don't have to go far, just look at India.
Yeah.
See the diversity, race, religion, language. Did you know in India there are nearly 2,000 languages?
Yeah.
Nearly 2,000 languages. There are 14 national languages. A state you can speak in parliament. On one occasion, one MP, he is from Goa. You see, he spoke in his language in parliament. Nobody understood him. Nobody, not a single person. And you know the reaction. Reaction is more important for us to realize. You know what the speaker said? Why didn't you tell me in time to switch on the simultaneous translation system? Why didn't you tell me? Nobody complained against him for speaking in his own language, you see, which nobody understood. Very positive thinking. You see, I remember in those early days of independence in 1948, Tamil Nadu was not called Tamil Nadu. It was not named Tamil. It was Madras. And they wanted to separate. The Tamils wanted to separate, right? You know what Gandhi said? Why do you want to leave? Why do you want to separate? Stay with us. Stay with us. Why? If you want to do all your work in Tamil, go ahead. Use your own language. You want to change your name from Madras to Tamil Nadu? Go ahead, do that also. But stay with us. Not a shot was fired. Not one life was lost. That country never went bankrupt, waging useless wars. Right? Unity is preserved. Not a no. This is the best. Sometimes it is said that best things in life are free, and when things are free, they are not appreciated. You have to spend a lot of money, then of course it is appreciated. Now here is a classic example where Gandhi told Madras, leaders of Madras, why do you want to separate? Stay with us. You want to do business in your, govern yourself in your own language, go ahead and govern. Why can't we say this to the Jaffna Tamils? Why can't we say, all right, the Muslim people? I'll give you another example. You see, Odisha, well, this is a recent example. A part of Odisha demanded a separate state.
Yeah.
Just like probably what the Jaffna Tamils are asking. They said the central government gave them. Telangana state was born as a result of agitation in a part of Odisha. Right? They broke it and gave. That is how unity is preserved today, not by sending the army there. It was, I'm not, please don't misunderstand this. Sorry, I have to make this personal remark. I was one of the very, very few people in service at the time when I was against the political military solution. And I told this to President JR 1-1 in the President's Lodge in Kandy. I told him that that this is not a wise move. Gamini Disarnayaka, late Gamini Disarnayaka, gave me that opportunity to arrange that meeting with Jaya. Now, people have begun to realize, and this election in 2024 has shown that the people are now realizing the mistake they made. I wrote a short article which appeared.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Yeah, thanks.
Good to meet you, La.
And finally, how to promote interfaith and interracial harmony. This is first. I think the first step has been taken by this government, and I only hope. I wrote that little article also to give them some encouragement to proceed in that direction.
Yeah.
I hope they will get the hint. Well, that is all I have. Thank you, Jihan, once again, listening to you. I enjoyed very much. I hope we'll keep in touch. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Well,
Kitsiri next. Sorry, Kitsiri. Sorry, I did not see you coming back again. So there's a button at the bottom. So if you put that as raise hand only, I will see the order. Otherwise, I don't. I said, okay, it's up to you to speak, Kitsiri.
Kitsiri's mic is not working, I think.
It's working now, I think.
Hi, Kitsiri. No.
It's not working. The mic is not working.
Tell him to type. Type the question.
It will take a time. So, mic එක වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ Kitsiri. There's some problem with the mic. Best thing is you log out and come back in. So in the meantime, I can take another question because the time is going.
Okay.
Log out කරලා ආපහු එන්න බලන්න. එතකොට හරියයි mic එක සමහර ලාවට. Yes, Sunil next. Sunil Jayasundara. Sunil?
Hello, Sunil.
Hi. First, congratulations, Jihan.
Thank you.
And I think you were born probably in UAE.
Yes.
But still have a lot of interest, I believe, in you.
Yeah.
And you are 1 in million.
Yes.
Sri Lankans who said that about the patriotism, I need not explain to you.
Okay.
Because I went to Dubai in 1977, even before you were born, I probably. Okay, that's his story. But I'm very much worried about the Sri Lankan constitution. Actually, I'm not a lawyer or a politician. I'm an engineer by myself. And coming back to Sri Lanka, I studied about the constitution and learned a lot about this mess about our constitution, right? And it's so sad, the situation about it's very loose constitution.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to make 100% foolproof constitution, but this is very loose. It is to the advantage of the politicians only. They have framed these everything. Anyway, to make these political reforms, when I looked at, it's not very easy,
Yeah.
right? If you look at
Very
the
complex.
argument, very complex. So, but
But
anyway,
it's
never
intertwined
mind.
into every area, every little here, there. They have made it a bigger bundle mess. But we have to clean it up.
Exactly, it's a real jargon. If you read one
Because
passage,
if we don't clear this, this country can't run.
exactly
It's
somebody has
not this
started
government, next government, same issue. But we need to clear this separation of powers, and their proper roles need to be properly defined, and everyone should know their place and not overreach.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you have taken up the challenge about this constitution. You have identified the loopholes where we are lacking about the 19th Amendment, 20th Amendment, 40th Amendment. Out of these 21 amendments, how many are, I mean, for their benefit. If you go one by one, it's
Excuse me, let me tell you, lot of amendments have come in Sri Lanka due to the political requirement of that time of the political party. What a shame.
Yes, exactly.
They
If you
change
go,
constitutions for the personal need for the whole population. That should never happen. That should never
the
happen
problem
again.
is the public doesn't have any idea about the constitution.
Yeah, because
Even that they don't want to get into politics. That's very sad part of it now.
no, we
Our
should
time is
encourage. We should now. Let me tell you, I am from the business background. I am very comfortable in my setup. And I have got down into a level that this level is not comfortable. You people disregard you, people insult you, people tell you names, and you are at risk, and you have so many unnecessary interactions. With all that, I am driving through because I want more people like me to come forward and build this. Otherwise, this cannot be built. Because each section of the government is checking their own interest only. If politicians are not touched, they go their way.
Yes.
You need to interfere, you need to intercept them at the correct points. Because for a very long time, Sri Lankan civil society, people like us, locally grounded. We are locally grounded. We don't have now. If I go to a Supreme Court case, I filed one last week, 14 to 15 lakhs. I have to pocket it from my own. I have filed about 6-7 cases. I'm always filing. But this interest you should have, because this is not easy. This is not popular because we are isolated. We want change, but we are a small group. We are telling these problems that our voice is not heard. It's not getting through. We don't get TV time. We don't get media time. But all the people who are going for reforms without the consents of the public, of the proper Sri Lankan people, need to be consulted when they go for reform. We need to say what we need to say. The reform just government can't do without consultation. Foreign bodies can't introduce reform which doesn't resonate with us. So this slowly, I think we should build this leads and organizations. We should build without conflict. We should very slowly come out and start speaking at civil society level, grounded from local side. Yeah. This is the only way forward I see. That is what I'm trying to do.
Yes, thank you. In brief, I just want to tell you about the present situation about these agreements, 7 agreements, which India and Sri Lanka, but it's not disclosed to the parliament, neither to the public, right? That now they have gone to the courts. Only 2 parties so far have gone to the courts. One is Mr. Dr. Gundas Amrasekara, and one we have our organization. Correct, right. I'm the
They went to
petitioner
the
for one.
Supreme Court. They went to the Supreme Court, and I have my case ready to go to the appeal court. So if they didn't come there, I will go to the appeal court with the fundamental writ. We need to check that because I don't know why they signed it. It was not vetted through. This one agreement's going to create some issues for Sri Lanka.
There's no problem. There's no problem. They can have, this is the MOU understanding, but let us know what is this understanding means. Right?
No, right to information also they give certain sections of this thing, and in the agreement, in the MOU, they have put a clause, you can't disclose it to the public.
Yeah, that's right.
That itself is enough for the Supreme Court to throw it, because government can never do anything without because when the public interest and the risk to the public overrides the secrecy, if it harms the public, because it is harming our sovereignty.
Exactly. This may not be interested. I mean, this topic is not known to the audience, but it's so sad, right? One case. But the problem is the judiciary, even though you say it is independent, in this case they are not independent. They know they've taken our sovereign rights by doing that. They can say this against our sovereign rights. They cannot sign anything.
Because this is where the problem is. Chula, are you listening?
Yeah, I'm listening.
This is where the problem is. Because government, when we have our politicians, they are going to the parliament with minimum knowledge. To support them, they have public officers. They have secretaries. They have additional secretaries. They have graded officers. When these politicians go to sign, it needs to be filtered through the secretaries. And after secretary, it gets filtered through the judiciary. It gets filtered through the Attorney General. How did all these things bypass?
Yeah, I am so glad you are in it now, right? I'm so glad you are in it, right?
Yeah.
You can be the Iron Lady for Sri Lanka in my short. Maybe our time is less, but you have enough time.
No,
you have another 20 years.
we have to do this together, because I am gaining confidence from you. I need to create, because this generation, our generation, I am at this level. My friends are not like me. They will go to dance, they will sing, and I am the only one who is into this type of interest. So we need to create more people like us. To create this, we need to keep talking. I may not be correct 100%, Chula. I may even say something's wrong, but I am evolving. I am learning every day.
Yeah, I just want to share a little bit of a comment from your WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So that everybody knows what you're facing, and thank you very much. I'll just show this.
Yeah.
See, this is a comment that I kept just in case if I want to say. One person says, I'm about to vomit for the self-glorification of a cheap salesman's partner. And you says, you're welcome, please do, just not in this forum. Pick a bucket and thank you. I'll stop there. Okay. Let's give a chance to, you done?
I should give the chance because I have a lot to talk about, but still I should give the time about.
I am very happy you also have studied the Constitution, read, and you also know the problem.
Yeah, please share with the knowledge, because I will also miss the app to share the knowledge. I have a lot of things to say.
I'm very happy to meet you, because I am happy to see that there are other people like me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
because we got only half an hour more. Sorry,
Can you hear me
half
now?
an hour. So
yes, Kitsiri, we can hear you.
Very good, very good. Right, when you are free, just tell me. Mr. Chula?
Yeah, we can hear.
Sunil, are you done?
Right. So I have to thank all of you, Miss Jihan, Miss Dr. Chula, and everybody, because question were prepared by somebody. Anyway, they were very good questions, and answers given by Jihan also very nice. And Ranjan also talked a lot about about these points. And actually, I had to talk so many things, but now I limit to one question which Dr. Chula asked about judiciary functioning. Actually, I have some, according to my experience, judiciary function is not up to the standard, because I have some experiences, because I appeared a number of
court cases related to lightning disasters. And then I became friendly with some lawyers. Then I saw, because when we go for these court cases, I was a government officer. Therefore, when they discuss the questions related to the rape cases, they get to all the people who are in the course. They ask them to go out. But as a government officer, we were not asked to go out. We could be inside the courts. So I saw some court cases, how they finalized. Actually, in many cases, you can hear me now, no?
Mhm.
Right. Actually, in many court cases, the girl who was raped was also there. The boy who raped the girl was also there. Right. They call both parties and ask some one or two cases, and then
Which year was
post.
this? Which year was this?
It was about 10, 15 years ago.
Okay.
Right? And what they asked a few questions and then postpone the court case
Okay.
to 2 3 months.
Okay.
So this has been happening for a long time. Then as I became friendly with some lawyers, I just asked them. I said the girl who was raped also came for the court case, and the boy who raped the girl was there. All the necessary people were there. Why the course was postponed for 2 3 times? Then they gave me a very good answer. So again, this is related to corruption, right? Actually, I don't know whether this is correct. When there was a court case, the previous day, judge and the lawyers get together. They were living together, so they discuss, and they become to a conclusion that this case will be postponed the following day, because the lawyers get some money, right? Both lawyers, and part of that money is going to the judge. Right? That's what they told me, and I don't know whether this is correct. So, they told me, and this is the reason why these rape cases and the land cases are postponed for several years. And last year, there was the rape case, the final decision was given, and the girl was raped about 27 years ago. And the final decision of the court case was given 27 years after the rape day. So this is, therefore, but
Yes, I think our judiciary, gentlemen, I think we need to take a look at the judiciary also. We can't say it is corruption free.
that's right. So that's what I want to raise.
We need to check the executive powers, legislative powers, and the function and the operation and the accountability need to be checked.
Yes,
So this is where we need the constitution to frame the powers properly. Until
that's right.
it's done, the loopholes are there, and this solution, there's no solution to Sri Lanka if it
Yes, yes,
goes at this rate. And they
yes.
want these loopholes open so they can play ground. They can play
That's
in the ground.
that's
Yeah.
so the
So the
government.
reformists, when the reformists are actually calling for these reforms,
Yes,
safeguards needs to be put properly with the regulations. I
yes.
agree with you 100%. It's a very
So
unfortunate
at
case.
least present government has to think about this one very seriously and
And
take.
other thing, people will not come out to say it, because anything you say, contempt of court, contempt of court, contempt of court. So people are
That,
even scared to say a little word against, because there's unnecessary fear created.
yes, you're
Judiciary.
correct. Yes,
That fear should be taken out. We should not fear judiciary at
yes.
all. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I mean, I have a personal experience once about this court thing. Long time ago, maybe 15, 20 years ago, went to Colombo for a meeting, and I went for a lunch somewhere, 3-table meeting, but open. And I was looking very scraggy with slippers and everything. I seemed like didn't understand anything. And then 2 judges sat next to me, and they were talking very freely because they didn't think I was of any use. I probably didn't understand their English, something like that. Yeah. So they were talking about an incident where when you do penalty, say you say 10,000, you put a charge in the courts, okay? There was a system where when you write 10,000, the last digit goes missing in the
Oh.
copy.
Uh-huh.
So the penalty person pays 10,000, but actually the government record is 1,000.
I see.
So I was listening to this between two judges, how it is happening, and I thought I'll share it with you now. Maybe that's something happens. Yeah. Okay, next, Jiva. Yes, Jiva.
Thank you, Chula. Thank you, Jihan. No, it's a very interesting discussion. I
Hi.
think
We can't see you, Jivananda.
this is early morning. I'm in my pajamas, so I decided not to.
Okay, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think you repeatedly stated the obvious
Yes.
in regard to all the questions that Chula put. And then, Ranjan and the rest, I think they reiterated the obvious.
Yeah.
I think our questions are, the problems in the country are
Yeah.
wide ranging,
Yeah.
and my take on this is that we are a politically illiterate society
Yeah.
that is not interested in the country.
Yeah.
We are a selfish nation as individuals, but the reasons for these things, the root causes, run for generations,
Yes.
going back to the Kandyan kingdom, and even before that.
Yeah.
So I honestly have given up hope for Generation Z. So you are a bright star among them. My question is, what are we going to do to change the attitudes of the alpha generation so that they will approach these problems from a different perspective? What are you doing?
Suleiman. After Gen Z, no? The 2011
Alpha,
one.
yeah, alpha is after, yeah, that's right, yeah. So what are you doing? What if you have an organization? Can you share with us, what you are planning to do to educate the Generation
The
C?
generation
Thank
is
you.
14, the very young one. Alpha is, excuse me, Alpha is born in which
The
year?
kids who are in the sixth
Very,
grade right now.
very young are the alpha. It's after Z.
Okay.
So they are in the schools. We have already started something like
Yeah.
developing attitudes, but it's a very complex
Yeah.
subject.
I think for the alpha gen, I think, Jiva, I think we have to go for a societal reform, okay, in our lifetime. So I think societal reforms can be, if we go through it properly, 7 to 10 years we can reform the society, because the 60-year-old baby will be 16 years in 10 years. Within that 10 years, we can groom a good citizen. So we need to interfere at the correct stages. We need to see where mostly their time is spent. They are spending time in school, after that with parents, after that with sports. So Sunil mentioned about moral and ethical studies. I was very concerned about moral and ethical studies from school. Now, Prime Minister is trying to bring that. But yes, we should, because Sunil said that we should bring moral and ethical studies from education level. Correct. Because I am more civilizationally ground, I don't want religion to exit. I want the religion to be there, and at the same time religion also teach us moral and ethical things, and at the same time we can push for the moral and ethical studies from the school level also. And then we need to reform the parents also. Nowadays parents are also not ethical. So societal reform, I think we all do it together. I think digital media is the platform now to do these things. I know for a fact I have been using digital media, like, for example, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, all forms I use. And I have about, in TikTok, I think I have reached 1 million people with me, the things I say. So I use my influence to slowly tell stories. And in TikTok, we have girls now telling jokes, telling not sometimes not dressed well, tell all the filth, and nothing positive comes out of this generation. So they also need to upgrade themselves slowly from this craziness. So I think so slowly we can do it. If the stage, your generation is there, you are telling me to do it, and I am telling my children to do it. My children tell the siblings to do it, or from siblings, the communication can go from up to down and down to up, from education, from school, from parents, from media. I think we can all integrate into this system. Once this setup triggers, I think society will pick up slowly and it will trigger up, because everything goes viral. Bad goes viral, that way good also can go viral. We can send it viral. What do you think, Jiva?
Yeah, so I think, we have to have a grassroots movement.
Yes.
So that's why I ask,
So
what
what I told you is a pattern, something we can immediately start doing slowly, but grassroots level things, and then in that way the government should understand. Government should have a religious, moral, ethical, cultural ministry. That ministry should look after all these areas. You see, so if, for example, digital media is corrupting people's mind, so then ethical ministry, moral ministry, religious ministry, and online safety bills are there. If people are talking about hate speeches, if people are talking about religiously unnecessary anything that disturbs intercommunal harmony, should be quickly checked. There should be mechanisms to check. At the same time, you have to prevent what is happening. Simultaneously, you have to pick up the moral groundness of the society also. Both should be done at the same time, so the results will be quicker, I believe. And if you have a suggestion, I am ready to listen, Jiva.
No, actually, what I do is, I write the papers, but, not many people, I don't know how many people read these things.
Yeah.
I associate with the Generation Z,
Okay.
but, they are, as, you pointed out, they are not really interested in making any changes.
Yeah. I think
So,
we can get them around with it. We can't give up on them.
no, we cannot give up.
We
No, no.
have to figure out a way to penetrate into their system and be like them. මොකක් හරි dance එකකින් ඒගොල්ලන්ව මේක ඇතුළට ගේන්නම ඕනේ, because our future depends on them.
Correct. I
We
agree
have
with
to
you. I
figure
mean,
out a way to bring, if they can't dance to our tune, we have to dance to their tune and bring them in first. After that, we will mold them.
yeah. So exactly what plans do you have? What are you doing right now in that respect?
For the moment, I have so many things. For the moment, I am concentrating on Sri Lanka is going through a very difficult time. Economically, state-wise, reforms changing, people are unhappy. So right now, I'm concentrating on the government policy, so the government stay on track for the moment. This is moral and structural and ethical behavior of transforming our public into not just digitally glued people, but intellectually capable people, for them to engage in jobs in related to politics, law, medicine, and at the same time think at least 1 or 2 years I must serve my country. That type of feeling, even with difficulty, they should at least few years they should give a boost to the country, to the motherland, before they leave, or later they come. So I want to create a society that they build this nation building, patriotic nation building. I think our friend Ranjan just remarked something. Patriotism is a beautiful thing. It is very badly misused by politicians. Patriotism is used politically badly, but patriotism is absolutely necessary for a country to rise. But it has been misread, misrepresented. I think when people get together, help together, talk together, and address issues together without always seeing the negative side, go through the negative and slowly build. And Chula, in this forum, I think initially when I just came to that forum, I was the sole one. And but I have few fans. I think I am making sense to some of them. Some resistance is there, but I always believe through advocacy, through talking, you can resolve your issues. You can reform, you can resolve, you can build society. And particularly, we need to pay attention to the alpha generation and the generation Z and the parents. And we have to identify the levels of our citizenship and their times of their contribution. And then each segment should be addressed separately. That is what I think. At the moment, I haven't thought about the alpha very closely, but I'll figure out a way.
Thank you, Jihan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jiva, for that as well. And I think you had some interest shown by some people to connect with you and then work on certain things. I think Sunil in particular wanted to change certain legal frameworks, and he's very knowledgeable. And then
I
there were
think
other
we
and
can have a small, everything we talked today and every contributor today understand the gravity of the problem, Chula.
Yeah, so that's why I'm
Women who have
openly
come
asking
here. This
if
is
they want to
really a
have a small
challenge.
group with you.
Yes,
I will create one.
yes,
So WhatsApp, I think you work a lot better on WhatsApp, correct?
yes.
Okay, so what is the kind of name you want to say in your this WhatsApp? Say whatever the reform is better, so it's one or two goals rather than a lot.
Yes, yes.
So if it's a social fabric that you want to change, something like that, or anyway, send me a name that will reflect the goal,
Okay.
and then I'll invite everyone. So who wants to join can join on an invite link.
Yeah, on a positive tone.
Yeah.
I
Positive
think
tone.
I am engaged in so many forums that is very negative, but I want like-minded people who will positively, very dignifiedly talk our issues and listen carefully and move forward. So it saves energy and we can move forward more positively, because we are not going to live forever. We have to do things very quickly. We can't resolve the problem in our lifetime. You all have done something, you all pass it to us. We also build another 10%. We live something, the next generation builds something. So nation is a building process. We need to keep on building and keep on documenting, so our next generation will pick up where we left. So this is from not from the government. This is the civil society initiative.
Okay, so we
From the
have
local
certain
level.
initiatives, Jihan, you're not aware.
Okay.
There is a certain principals involved in schools who are working with us and actually taken their lead very well, and they're working hard. I can ask for permission from them and add you onto this. I always work with permissions.
And we know we can also go and do conferences. We can go to schools and we can have little conferences. What
So
do you
the school system, I'll talk to them and see whether they are interested, and then I'll put you.
motivation speeches and something?
Yeah, you can certainly do that for children.
Me, and there are so many other speakers we can train, and we can once in a while go to a school and give them a motivation speech or something.
Yeah. So the leads also have WhatsApp group. You are in it, and
Okay.
we are very sensible over there. We don't have individual attacks on that.
Oh, yes.
So that's good.
Yeah.
So today was very good. I think we can make it another step forward towards something good, and that's what we want to do. That's what we have been doing. And Kitsiri has been developing some videos for children,
Okay.
and we've done one, and it's on our website. There are more to come
Okay.
about educating children in relation to various safety issues as well.
Yeah.
So this is something we can do. I would welcome from Sinhala Hari, Tamil Hari,
Oh,
because though different languages.
I also have a very, very large network, nationalists from Sri Lanka.
Okay.
We also work on projects, but we are now like Gurkha's army, attacking and seeing where something is going wrong, picking up and putting it on right, exposing. So they are kind of, very little hardcore, but I am in the middle. I manage this side, that side, and I keep the peace.
Yeah, so we try to be critics, but always we try to be constructive critic.
Yeah.
So we suppose a solution, all our publications and everything always have a solution, although we criticize. So we're trying to do that. So we're trying to get there slowly
Yeah.
and slowly.
Ila?
Yeah, Kitsiri want to raise the hand.
Yes,
Kitsiri? Yeah.
Dr. On one point, I'm not discussing this in details. Actually, this one I have already written to the president. One of your questions said something related to religion. Actually, there are a number of religions in Sri Lanka, but Buddhism is the world accepted religion. But our local people have misunderstood, including the politicos have misunderstood the Buddhism. Now it has turned into a functional religion. For example, they are spending so much of money, government money and the public money, for unnecessary functions in relation to Buddhism, but they are not really Buddhist religions. They are all people newly created functions. And today's papers, one paper said that Candy Dalala Perahara, this time the what do you call it, expenses are 120 million rupees, and the
State
Kopara, they have
expenses.
120 million, 120 lakhs, sorry, 120 lakhs of rupees. That is
State
12 million
expenses. Is
expenses,
it
yes.
by the
No, what she's asking is whether it's from the government के public money වලින් ආපු එකක්ද එහෙම නැත්නම්
Dr. Chula, there's a budget. Budget එක අතර budget එක government එකම සල්ලි එනවා. මිනිස්සුන්ගේ සල්ලිත් යනවා. Budget එක 120
නෑ
lakhs.
එතන මං හිතන්නේ පොඩි correction එකක් කරන්න පුළුවන් because temple has money.
ඒක temple money, but anyway, ultimately public money no. මිනිස්සුන්ගේ සල්ලි වෙනකම්
Temple money belongs to the public ද නෑනේ.
temple money taxes වලින් එන එකක් නෙමෙයිනේ government එකෙන් ඒකට සල්ලි දෙනවා නම් තමයි it becomes public money.
Yeah, so temple has enough money. Government එකට tax කරන්න ඕනේ නෑ ඒගොල්ලෝ ඔකට.
මං කියන්නේ මිස් ජිහන් මම බුද්ධාගම කියන හොඳ ආගමේ වෙනුවෙන් මෙච්චර සල්ලියයි.
ධර්මය දේශනා කරා නම් ඇති අනවශ්‍ය වියදම් කරන්න නැතුව.
මම ඒක ලියව already I have written a long letter to අනුර.
ඕවා කරන්න ගියාම තමයි මිනිසුන්ට ආගමත් ධර්මයත් එපා වෙන්නේ.
අනික මිස් ජිහන් කොප්පරා ටොන් 20ක් පුච්චනවලු පෙරහැර කොප්පරා ටොන් 20ක් මේ සැරේ. ඒකට මිලියන්ස් ඔෆ් රුපීස් ඒකටත් යනවා.
නෑ ඒකටත් මොකක් හරි සිස්ටම් එකක් එන්වයරන්මන්ට් එකක් ඩැමේජ් වෙන්නේ නැතුව ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් සෙරමෝනියලි පොඩ්ඩක් පෙන්නගෙන ලයිට් ටික දාගෙන ගියා නම් හරි.
This is only
පොඩි
one case.
වෙනස්කම් කරන්න වෙනවා.
This is only one case නේ අවුරුද්දක් පුරා තියෙනවා පෙරහැරවල 100ක් විතර ලංකාවේ. ඉතින් මේ this is not Buddhism. මේ කියන්නේ මේ ඇත්ත Buddhism නේ මම ඒක තේරුම් මේ වගේ ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එකක තේරුම් ගන්න බෑ. මම මේකේ භාගයක් මේ තේරුම් කළා අනුර මහත්තයාගේ ඉල්ලීමක් කරලා මම පිටු 9ක ලියුමක් කරියා. I will write another letter explaining.
දලදා පෙරහැර නම් something ටිකක් ස්පෙෂල් නිසා ඒක ලස්සනට ලෝකෙට පේන්න මෙගලන් කරනවා. but අනිත් පොඩි පෙරවල් වල තලියෝ ගෙනියලා පිස්සු කරනකොට එන කරදරයක්.
එන කරදරයක් අනිත් දැන් මේ
අනිත් පෙරහැරවල තියෙන පන්සල් වලට අලියා කන්ට්‍රෝල් කරගන්නත් බෑ. අලියා දුවනවා එහෙම මෙහෙ. අලියාවත් යවන පන්සල් ටික හරියට බලා ගන්න ඕනේ. නිකන් ඔක්කොම පන්සල් වලට අලියා දෙන්න හොඳ නෑ.
ඔව් අනික මේ අනික වෙන බුද්ධාගම වෙනුවෙන් මේක කරන්නේ බුද්ධාගම රියල් බුද්දිසම් දන්නේ නැහැ මම හිතන්නේ ගොඩක් කට්ටිය දන්නේ රියල් බුද්දිසම් මම මේක තීරුම් කර ලිපි ලියනවා මේ වගේ ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එක කරන්න තමයි මේ ඒකට මිනිස්සු ක්‍රිටිසයිස් කරන වෙන විදිහකට I am writing personally I write to the
sensitive නේ මේගොල්ලන්ගේ බෞද්ධ කට්ටිය ටිකක් හරීම sensitive මොනවාරි කියපු ගමන්ම අන්න ආගමට බැන්නවා කියලා කෑ ගහගෙන අපිට බනින්නේ නැහැ රජයට බනින්නේ
රජයට බනින්නේ ඒකයි
ඒකත් චුට්ටක් පරිස්සමෙන් ඒගොල්ලන්වත් බේරගෙන තමයි දැන් යන්න ඕනේ because දැන් රජයට ඇඟිල්ල දික් කරන්න බලාගෙන ඉන්නේ දැන් අපි රජයට බනින්නේ හදාගන්න correction එකට දාගන්න දැන් අපි මේ කල්ලගෙන ගිහිල්ලා බිම පෙරලලා දාන්නම බනිනවා විපක්ෂය එන කරදරයක් ඒක
එක්කෙනෙක් අර අවුරුද්දක් මිස්ටර් සේපාල් කියන කෙනෙක් එයාට කියවුණා මේ දාලා මාලිගාවේ මේ දන්දාතුන් වහන්සේ කියන මේ ලබ්බ කියලා කියවුණා. ලබ්බ කියන වචනේ. ඒක කියවුණා කියලා මෑන්න දැම්මම මාසයක් he was in the මේ custody හිරේ හිටියා. නමුත් එයාගෙන් කෝට් කේස් එක ඇහුවේ නැහැ. ඇයි why did you say ලබ්බ කියලා ඇහුවේ නැහැ? ඒක ඇහුවේ නැහැ. එවන මිනිහ තේරුම් කරනවා මොකෝ නොකිය මාසයක් හිරේ තියලා මිනිහව නිදහස් කරා. අපිත් අර මමත් අර හොඳ වචන පාවිච්චි කරලා ලියුම් ලියන්නේ නැත්තම් මම කෙලින්ම මගේ කේස් එක ගහන්නේ
කියලා තියෙන්නේ මමත් දැන් ඔය කතා පවත්වන්න ගියාම මට මගේ නැෂනලිස්ට් ඕගනයිසර්ස් ලෙවල් ඉස්සෙල්ලාම කියන්නේ හාමුදුරුවන්ට බනින්න එපා මේක කියන්න එපා because මම මාතර ගිහිල්ලා සම්මන්ත්‍රණයක් තිබුණා ඒ සම්මන්ත්‍රණේ තව ස්ටුඩ්ටකින් අරහෙටත් බනින්න ගියේ මට එච්චර කේන්ති ගිහිල්ලා හිටියේ ඒගොල්ලන් කිව්වා බනින්නම් බනින්න එපා කියලා බට් මම කරන්නේ ලියුම් ලියලා එක එකව බැන බැන යවනවා හිටපු ගමන් ඒගොල්ලෝ දේවල් වලට ගිය සතියේ ගිය මාසේ ඥානසාර හාමුදුරුවන්ට බැනලා එන ගෝරියක් ගියා.
Okay, so that's a good advice for you, Jihan. If you get angry, stop talking. You get angry, stop talking.
Everybody have
That's very important.
strength and little weakness තියෙනවා ඒව චුට්ටක් හදාගෙන යන්න.
I just pointed one point. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I think we had a good discussion and it's nearly 2 hours now.
Yes.
And you were worried that you could stand 2 hours. Jihan, say
I am very happy with this wonderful audience and I'm very grateful you have invited me and enlightened me and I was able to share my thoughts and I'm very happy to hear the information you have given me. I've learned a lot from you. I just want you to say I won't give up. I will fight on this.
Okay, Sunil has a comment, I think.
Right.
Yes, Sunil, you want to talk? Yeah, we've gone 2 hours now. Sunil had a comment. Sunil,
his mic is off.
No, he's not talking. I don't know.
His mic. Right.
Yes, I am there to help you because I have a lot to share with you, Jihan, about the constitution, everything, because we will share all my because we are too old now. I want to pass this to the next generation what I have collected.
All the nationalists I work with are close to 70 plus. They are very knowledgeable. They know things.
Because,
they pass their information. The wealth of knowledge that needs to be passed. Your personal experience need to be passed. And what Sunil, what Chula is going to do is we are going to form this group and then in this group we will slowly start structuring and adding more like-minded people into it and we'll work on something positively.
Great.
Definitely, because a lot of printed matter and a lot of, the acts, what I have collected, the parliamentary action, presidential act, all those things which I have taken through RTI, how they have functioned in the parliament, what you call about the different amendments, 14th amendment, how they have, because I did a very forensic audit on the 14th amendment, how they did it, how they have taken up sovereign rights. All these documents I have to pass on to somebody who will take care of and take in the next generation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good morning and good night for everybody and good evening as well.
Ayubowan.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Good night from Sri Lanka.
Good night. Good afternoon from London.
Right.
Bye.